The armies of the Spanish Civil War. The Spanish Civil War was a war that lasted from 1936 to 1939. It was started by a right-wing coup against a Republican left-wing government. However, both sides represented broad coalitions. For example, on the right, phalangists who were anti-capitalist and to an extent anti-clerical were allied with the extreme Catholic and extreme monarchist Carlists. On top of this, they were supported by moderate conservative elements. Confusingly, on the other side, you have the pro-democratic Republican supporters, who are backed up by about some 27,000 Trotskyist, anarchist, and communist militants, terrorists, and paramilitaries. This incredibly broad left coalition was also confusingly backed by the Catholic and nationalist separatist movements that at this time were threatening Spain. This of course led to a military situation that was incredibly blurred. While the right were able to secure the support of the Army of Africa, which was a foreign colonial force made up of the Spanish Foreign Legion, which was intentionally made up of criminal and undesirable elements to create a fanatical force, and this was coupled with the native elements of the Spanish colonies. Phalangist and Carlin militants and terrorists would also join this banner. However, they would heavily clash with each other and with the regular army. On the other side, around just less than half of the regular army had joined the Republican side. Of the existing officer corps, half had been arrested, and of that half that were left, it was split pretty evenly between the two sides. For enlisted men, it was weighted slightly towards the Republicans. These Republican elements suffered the same issue. They often clashed with the paramilitary and terrorist organisations in their own sphere, especially the far left ones who had been operating in Spain for years at this point. The Republicans suffered a great leadership problem in this regard because many of their best men were suited to the guerrilla and asymmetrical warfare that they were used to, which did not serve particularly well in the Civil War itself. Added on to this, you had the International Brigades, which was full of foreign support for the Republicans. The Republican movement would somewhat break apart, experiencing its own mini-civil war between the different leftist elements, and around the same time, a very similar thing would happen within the right wing. So that's a short introduction into the absolute mess that was the armies of the Spanish Civil War.